if I may, this is Bill O'Reilly. This is, in terms of the debt ceiling, this is part of the conversation that was happening behind the scenes. And like I said, we looked at the Sean Hannity clips, and he was passive aggressively trying to talk Republicans off the cliff. Like, don't you dare vote to, not vote for this thing or not let it pass. None shall pass. I have no quarrel with you, good Sir Knight, but I must cross this bridge. Then you shall die. So this is part of the conversation that was going on the side. Trump wants, this is, look at this, Bill O'Reilly. Donald Trump is wrong about the debt ceiling. Now, Bill O'Reilly is the guy who has hung out with Donald Trump the most, who likes him the least, with the exception of maybe Bob Woodward. They did that. Remember the tour? You guys remember that was going to be the shit. Remember that? Remember the Bill O'Reilly Trump tour that was going to sell out arenas, and they did like one half-filled space? Remember that? Oh, it was glorious. What a wonderful loss that was. Just watching that stinker. Remember that? That was supposed to be huge. They were going to split the ticket price. Cha-ching. And O'Reilly was going to ask him the tough questions, and they did it like one and a half, right? One and a half of them, and that was it. Oh, so great. Yeah, it was ass. So this is Bill O'Reilly, former, vaudeville cohort of Donald Trump, a touring comedy duo. And this is the title of this one is Donald Trump is wrong about the debt ceiling, Bill O'Reilly, and Trump wants economic chaos. And O'Reilly's going to talk like this.
All right. Now, Donald Trump said this.
He said this. Wrote it down. I don't like it. But you're talking to a guy who's had to spend $33 million to make a woman keep her mouth shut.
I'm going to quote it. Republicans should not make a deal on the debt unless they get everything they want, including the kitchen sink.
And by the way, in parentheses and in quotes, so that people don't think he actually means a kitchen sink.
That's the way the Democrats have always dealt with us. Do not fold.
That was 11 o'clock in the morning on May 19th. And no, they haven't, because if you'll notice, nobody's gotten everything, including the kitchen sink, on either side. Although I think Biden did extraordinarily well in this one. All these negotiations end up with somebody taking something they don't like.
Donald Trump had to know, if no deal was reached, that the stock market would have been down 2,000 points.
Yeah, and so the Saudis want to buy the dip, and so they're looking forward to that, and they're not invested in the country, and he's got a partnership with them for his LIV golf bullshit.
And that inflation would have been ignited, and that economic chaos.
Ignited? Excuse me, Bill. This is the worst inflation we've ever had. It's never going down. It's probably going much higher. And 15 million immigrants are coming over here to spend money that of ours that we don't have. Yeah.
Would have descended on America as foreign investors who buy our bonds and pump billions of dollars into our economy would have stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you're acting like A, Trump knows this, and B, the Freedom Caucasians give a fuck.
Trump is smart economically.
All right. I didn't realize this was a parody account. I'm sorry. AI has gotten so good.
He had to know that.
No, he didn't.
Trump is tweeting out, don't compromise. Why?
Because he's stupid. Because he's a doddering old psychopath.
Because economic chaos works to Donald Trump's advantage. It does.
Yes. Donald Trump succeeds when America fails.
And if you have been reading my messages of the day,
No, not really. Honestly, I'm sorry. I should get around so much.
Spell it out. In times of economic trouble, people turn to what they call a political strongman, which is Donald Trump.
I mean, the illusion of the political strongman that he had for a couple of years we're not really pretending that still exists, are we? Did you see him walking in front of Putin? Good Lord.
Okay, that's the only explanation. I haven't talked to him about it, but
I have another one. He's an idiot who is a chaos agent and does not care about the implications of anything that he does. He only moves on his impression that it'll help him in some way.
that tweet, I mean, you don't want economic chaos, even
You don't?
if it hurts Biden. And believe me, the press would turn it all around and say it's the Republicans' fault, the economy, they didn't make the deal.
Well, it would be, especially if they read his tweet and did what he said.
And there are enough uninformed people.
What's the uninformed part? Literally the titular head of the party, the guy who's actually in the lead to be the candidate next time, is telling them, shut it all down.
Swing voters or, distracted voters.
Swing voters, distracted people who need to be convinced.
Whatever you want to call them.
I have a lot of names for them, and some they don't like, but,
that the Republicans would get blamed.
Because it would be their fault. Because they took shitty, ignorant, psychotic advice and then actually followed through on it to the detriment of everyone.
And the people who really don't know what's going on would vote for the other party.
No, people who know what's going on, especially, would vote for the Democrats because they go, look, I may not agree with these guys on everything, but holy hell, those people are insane.
So you have to see the big picture.
You totally do. The big, that's the thing, is that I can't, you can't. Trump, he's obviously got a giant vision. And so does Bill. You got to see the big picture. You're in the middle of being a violent, sexual assaulting monster, and you're like, maybe I should tap the brakes on this kind of shitty behavior if I want to keep my Fox job. And you're like, that's you being myopic. Don't, follow the advice of, well, never mind.
And that's the memo.
That's it. That's the memo. That's the whole thing. And then the rest of this is a gold ad. Yeah? Yep. Seriously. Half this fucking video is a gold ad. After his death, I told you about the debt ceiling. You want to talk about your debt ceiling, the way you solve that? Gold. Because the world loves pretty rocks. That's the thing. Why would you want your currency based on the economic output and the GDP of your country and the range of assets available when you can put everything behind a pretty rock? Sometimes in history people think is really pretty, and other times they're like, it's all right. You back your currency on pretty rock. That's right. And don't forget, if you act now, you'll get one of these commemorative bullshit coins. They're largely, I think, aluminum, actually. They're made out of tin cans, but they look gold, and that's the important part. That's the great thing about gold, is that, see this thing? This is just as shiny as real gold. And it does everything that gold does, except it's slightly lighter and easier to carry. And it does, the greatest thing about gold is that it has that gold color, and it shines. It's very shiny. Look, if I turn it, look, see that shiny part when it does that? See, that's why you need to invest in Shiny Rock. Shiny Rock Investments is a company that will provide you with rocks that are shinier than most rocks. And you can't do anything else with them, you can, I mean, if you had a circuit board etcher, you could probably do certain amounts of it, but we've already found substitutes largely for that. But if you had this stuff and you were in, I don't know, like in a post-apocalyptic nightmare where we all went back to shiny rock good, this will get you killed. Actually, I don't know if you want to walk around with those kind of things. That's probably a mistake. But check out Shiny Rock Investments. This is not investment advice. Don't ever take this kind of stuff like this. Shiny rocks aren't actually fucking worth anything. A Mutual of Omaha is people. I've never understood the gold thing. Like I appreciate that it exists. That's fine. I think it's great. You can make it's very popular because you can make jewelry out of it very easily. And back in the day, before advances in smelting, it was one of the easiest ones to make stuff that's make pretty stuff out of it. It also wore off sooner too. I don't know if you noticed that it's. But please invest. Pretty rock. I'm gonna make a pretty rock ad. I think I have to, right? Yes, shiny rock. Shiny rocks. Shiny rock that's easy to stamp and make into things, which means you can unmake them as well, which is problematic, obviously. Somebody can melt it down, turn this coin into a cylinder type thing. You could smuggle it in your butt if you want to. As a matter of fact, this thing's so bendy, you could probably just do it. I'm not going to try it on camera, but shiny rock. Gleam. All right. MAGA gold. Whoever smelt it dealt it. We smelt it, and then we dealt it. Shiny rock. All right. I think that's the catchphrase. It's got to be. That's fun. All right. Shiny rock. Shiny rock will always be shiny rock to me. Good old shiny rock. Shiny Rock, Tennessee. All right. We're going too far with this joke. Too far.